Stretching across 9 countries, the Amazon rainforest is an expanse so vast that, from above, its emerald canopy seems to swallow the horizon. The mighty Amazon River carves its serpentine path through this endless green, shimmering beneath the morning sun like the scales of a giant dragon. Beneath the mist that lingers after dawn, waterfalls thunder into hidden valleys, releasing plumes of spray that catch the light and paint fleeting rainbows in the humid air. The forest stirs with life. Scarlet macaws and blue morpho butterflies flash their colors among tangled branches, while the calls of unseen monkeys echo through the trees. Every leaf, every shadow, every ripple on the river speaks of secrets buried within this ancient wilderness. This is the Amazon, often called the lungs of the planet. Here, billions of trees inhale carbon dioxide and exhale life-giving oxygen, sustaining not just the creatures that dwell beneath their shade, but all living things on Earth. Yet for all its grandeur and importance, the Amazon remains an enigma. Scientists estimate that less than half of its species have been discovered, and new creatures, some dazzling, some dangerous, are found each year. The land itself is a living tapestry, woven from countless ecosystems that harbor plants and animals found nowhere else. But within the Amazon's heart lies a mystery even deeper than its tangled undergrowth: the existence of uncontacted tribes, people who have never faced the world beyond the forest. Standing at the edge of the jungle, the air is thick with anticipation. The forest appears impenetrable, its walls of green concealing untold wonders and dangers. It is a realm shaped by water. The Amazon River and its thousands of tributaries are the lifeblood of this land. Each rainy season, the rivers swell and flood the forest floor, transforming vast stretches of land into watery labyrinths. Fish swim among the roots of towering trees, and pink river dolphins play in the currents. The river is both a highway and a barrier, connecting remote villages while also protecting the deep interior from outside intrusion. The Amazon's mornings are a spectacle of light and sound. As the sun rises, a blanket of mist drifts through the treetops, softening the edges of leaves and vines. Birds awaken with a riot of calls. Toucans croak, parrots chatter, and the haunting whistle of the tinamou echoes from the shadows. Every inch of the forest pulses with movement. Sloths dangle from branches, moving with deliberate slowness. Leafcutter ants march in endless lines, carrying fragments of green to their underground colonies. Jaguars slip silently through the undergrowth, rarely seen but always present, rulers of their secret domain. In these moments, the Amazon reveals its dual nature: breathtaking beauty and hidden peril. Beneath the canopy, the ground is alive with insects, amphibians, and reptiles. Poison dart frogs, brilliant in their warning colors, hop among the fallen leaves. Anacondas glide silently through flooded channels, masters of stealth. The forest's bounty nourishes its inhabitants, but every creature must be wary. Life here is a delicate balance, and survival often depends on knowledge passed down through generations. Yet, even as researchers and explorers push deeper into the jungle, vast areas remain unexplored. Satellite images reveal patches of untouched forest, where the trees stand undisturbed and rivers run clear. It is within these isolated pockets that uncontacted tribes may live, their villages hidden from prying eyes. These people are the true guardians of the Amazon, living in harmony with the land as their ancestors did before them. Their existence is a testament to the resilience of human culture, preserved in the world's last wild places. Stories from local guides and indigenous communities hint at encounters with these mysterious tribes. Sometimes, a fleeting glimpse of painted faces between the trees, or the distant sound of drums in the night, betrays their presence. These tribes have chosen isolation, turning their backs on the outside world to protect their way of life. For them, The Amazon is not merely a home, it is the center of their universe, a sacred landscape that holds the spirits of their ancestors and the wisdom of ages. The forest itself acts as a shield, safeguarding these people from the relentless march of modernity. Roads, farms, and logging operations have scarred parts of the Amazon, but the deep interior remains fiercely protected by its own inaccessibility. The journey into the heart of the rainforest is not for the faint of heart. Dense vegetation blocks the sun, and the air grows heavy with humidity. Rivers twist and vanish into thickets of mangrove and palm. Each step forward is a test, a challenge set by the jungle to see who is worthy of its secrets. As we move further into the Amazon, the sense of awe grows stronger. Ancient trees tower overhead, their roots knotted in the soil like the veins of the earth itself. Vines dangle in curtains, and bromeliads cling to branches, their flowers blooming in impossible colors. Every turn reveals new wonders. A flock of toucans perched in a clearing, their bills glowing in the sunlight. A cluster of giant water lilies floating on a mirror-like lagoon, the silhouette of a tapir drinking at dawn. Here, the boundaries between myth and reality blur, and the forest whispers its stories to those who listen. But beneath the beauty lies a fragile balance. The Amazon faces threats from deforestation, mining, and climate change, each one chipping away at its resilience. The survival of uncontacted tribes is tied to the fate of the forest itself. Their knowledge, traditions, and languages are treasures that could disappear if the land they depend on is lost. For now, however, their world persists, hidden behind walls of green, untouched by the rush of progress. The opening to the Amazon is both a threshold and a promise. It beckons with the allure of discovery, the chance to witness nature in its purest form. It is a place where science, legend, and adventure mingle, where every path might lead to a new revelation or to a glimpse of a world unchanged for centuries. As we stand at this gateway, we are reminded that the Amazon is not just a forest, it is a living mystery. And within its depths, the last uncontacted tribes continue their ancient journey, unseen by all but the jungle itself. The Amazon rainforest is a realm of untamed beauty and staggering diversity, where life pulses in every shadow and leaf. Here, amid the dappled sunlight and endless greens, the wild world unfolds in dramatic scenes, both grand and minute. Imagine the stealthy jaguar, sinewy and powerful, slipping silently through the undergrowth. Its coat, mottled with rosettes, allows it to blend seamlessly into the forest, every muscle poised for the hunt. This apex predator is a master of camouflage and patience, moving with calculated grace as it stalks its prey. In the hush before dawn, the jaguar becomes a phantom, a living symbol of the Amazon's mysterious power. Nearby, the mighty black caiman, one of the largest reptiles in South America, rules the waterways. These colossal crocodilians, sometimes reaching lengths of 6 meters, glide silently beneath the surface of murky rivers. Their eyes, just above the waterline, scan for movement, ready to ambush unsuspecting prey. When gathered together, bellowing and basking on muddy banks, they create a spectacle of prehistoric strength, a reminder of the ancient lineage that survives within the Amazon's borders. On wide, sunlit sandbanks, the giant Amazon river turtle makes its seasonal pilgrimage. These gentle giants, with shells broad and domed, emerge from the water to lay their eggs, carving deep nests into the soft sand. The cycle of life continues as hatchlings, barely the size of a coin, scramble toward the safety of the river, braving predators and the elements. For centuries, these turtles have been a vital part of the river's ecosystem, their presence marking the rhythms of the rainforest year. But the Amazon's wonders are not limited to its charismatic megafauna. Venture deeper into the lush foliage, and the world bursts into color and sound. poison dart frogs, adorned in brilliant hues of blue, yellow, and red, perch on mossy logs and broad leaves. Their skin glistens with potent toxins, a vivid warning to would-be predators. These tiny amphibians are living jewels, each species boasting its own unique patterns and calls, their lives intertwined with the forest's intricate food webs. In the heart of the jungle where sunlight barely penetrates the thick canopy, the world of plants astonishes with its own drama. Here, gigantic flowers bloom in the shadows, their petals unfurling with a slow, deliberate grace. Some emit sweet fragrances that lure pollinators from miles away, while others release scents that attract only the most specialized insects. The sheer variety of blossoms, crimson, gold, and violet, speaks to the rainforest's unmatched creativity, a botanical canvas painted over millennia. Towering above all, ancient trees rise toward the sky, their trunks immense and gnarled. These arboreal giants, some older than civilization itself, form the backbone of the forest. Their roots anchor the soil, their branches support teeming life, and their leaves filter sunlight into a soft green glow. High in the canopy, unseen by most, monkeys leap from limb to limb, birds flash in iridescent colors, and orchids cling to rough bark, flourishing in the humid air. Each tree is a universe unto itself, sheltering hundreds of species within its embrace. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a sanctuary for life in every conceivable form. Scientists estimate that millions of species inhabit this vast realm, from the tiniest insects to the largest mammals. Yet, for all our knowledge, much remains hidden. New species are discovered every year, and countless others have yet to be named or studied. The diversity here is so immense that a single hectare of forest may contain more tree species than all of North America. The Amazon's bounty is a living testament to nature's ingenuity, a treasure trove whose depths we have barely begun to explore. But the forest's mysteries run deeper than scientific curiosity. There are places within the Amazon where no scientist has ever set foot, stretches of wilderness so remote and impenetrable that they remain untouched by human hands. Local legends speak of hidden valleys and lost lakes, of creatures and plants unknown to the outside world. It is said that the very air in these regions hums with ancient secrets, that the spirits of the forest guard their realms fiercely. The sense of awe and wonder that pervades the Amazon is matched only by the thrill of discovery, the possibility that, just beyond the next bend of the river, an entirely new world awaits. Indigenous peoples, whose lives are woven into the fabric of the rainforest, hold knowledge that transcends maps and measurements. Their stories recount encounters with animals never seen by outsiders. Their traditions preserve the wisdom of generations. For them, the forest is not only a home, but a living entity, rich with meaning and spirit. The boundaries between myth and reality blur in the Amazon, where the unknown beckons with every rustling leaf and distant call. Amidst this vibrant chaos, scientists continue their quest to document and understand the Amazon's riches. Camera traps snap images of elusive mammals, drones soar above the canopy, and researchers painstakingly catalog the insects, plants, and fungi that thrive in every niche. Each discovery adds to our appreciation of the rainforest's complexity, yet also underscores how much remains to be learned. The Amazon is a biological archive, its creatures and plants holding clues to the origins and future of life itself. Yet the fragility of this paradise cannot be ignored. The Amazon faces unprecedented threats from deforestation, climate change, and exploitation. The loss of even a single species can ripple through the ecosystem, affecting countless others in ways we may not fully understand. Protecting this living library is not only a scientific imperative, but a moral one. The Amazon's fate is intertwined with our own, its health reflecting the choices we make as a global community. In the end, the Amazon stands as nature's greatest masterpiece, a wild, mysterious, and endlessly diverse world. It challenges us to look deeper, to cherish the unknown, and to act as stewards for the generations yet to come. Within its depths, the story of life continues to unfold, each moment a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the boundless creativity of the natural world. The forest whispers a promise that there are still wonders to be discovered, mysteries to be unraveled, and perhaps, in the heart of the wild, the answers to questions we have not yet thought to ask. Long before European explorers set foot on the vast continent of South America, these dense emerald forests were home to millions of people. Hidden beneath the thick canopy, the jungle holds secrets older than recorded history, waiting patiently to be discovered. The story of these ancient inhabitants is written into the very earth itself, etched into the land in ways that only the determined and the curious can uncover. As sunlight peeks through towering trees, the foliage reveals enigmatic shapes, a series of colossal earthen mounds, their perfect geometry now softened by centuries of moss and roots. Some rise in pyramidal form, startling in their symmetry, their sides swallowed by vines and ferns, nearly indistinguishable from the natural contours of the forest. Yet, when seen from above, their outline becomes unmistakable. These are not random hills, but the remnants of human ingenuity, silent testimonies to civilizations that once thrived here. Elsewhere, the forest floor hides even grander mysteries. Massive geoglyphs, geometric patterns carved into the soil, stretch across clearings, their scale only visible from the sky. Circles, squares, and intricate shapes, some spanning hundreds of meters, bear witness to a sophisticated society that understood the land, mathematics, and perhaps even astronomy. These geoglyphs, now shrouded by trees and undergrowth, speak of communal gatherings, rituals, and connections that bound these ancient people together. For centuries, these marks went unnoticed, eclipsed by the immensity of the Amazon. Early explorers mistook the forest for an untouched wilderness, believing it to be inhospitable and sparsely populated. But recent discoveries have overturned this myth. Archaeologists, armed with new technologies like LiDAR, have peeled back the layers of vegetation to reveal a landscape rich with evidence of human habitation. The earthen pyramids and geoglyphs are just the beginning, hinting at a complex network of villages, ceremonial centers, and carefully managed fields. Who were the people who built these monuments? The evidence suggests that, far from being primitive, the ancient inhabitants of the Amazon were skilled engineers, farmers, and artists. They shaped the land with purpose, constructing raised fields to guard against floods, digging canals for irrigation, and planting vast orchards. The soil itself still retains the mark of their labor, terra preta, or black earth, a fertile substance created through careful mixing of charcoal, organic waste, and pottery shards. This engineered soil continues to nourish crops today, a living legacy of the vanished civilizations. Yet with all these signs of life and abundance, there is a profound mystery. Centuries ago, these great communities vanished, leaving behind only subtle traces. The reasons remain elusive. Was it disease, conflict, environmental change, or a combination of forces? The jungle, relentless and ever-reclaiming, swallowed their cities and monuments, erasing the details but not the outlines. As explorers and scientists piece together the puzzle, another layer of intrigue emerges. Deep within the forest, there are tribes who have remained almost entirely isolated from the outside world. Their languages, customs, and ways of life have evolved independently for generations, sheltered by the green fortress of the Amazon. Some anthropologists speculate that these uncontacted peoples may be the direct descendants of the once great civilizations that built the pyramids and geoglyphs. Their traditions and stories, passed down orally, might contain echoes of ancient knowledge lost to time. The links between the past and present grow stronger with every discovery. Pottery fragments found near abandoned villages resemble those used by contemporary tribes. Crop varieties cultivated by isolated communities match those recovered from ancient fields. Even spiritual beliefs and rituals, honoring the spirits of the forest and ancestors, seem to bridge the gap between the world of the vanished builders and that of their modern descendants. Despite the evidence, much remains shrouded in uncertainty. The rainforest guards its secrets fiercely, and the lives of those who dwell within are fragile, threatened by deforestation, disease, and encroachment. Researchers tread carefully, respecting the autonomy and rights of uncontacted tribes, knowing that their cultures are precious links to a forgotten chapter of human history. The story of the Amazon's lost civilizations challenges our assumptions. It reminds us that the rainforest is not just a wild expanse, but a landscape shaped by generations of human hands and minds. The earthen pyramids and geoglyphs are not merely relics. They are symbols of resilience, creativity, and adaptation. They speak of societies that understood how to live in harmony with nature, using ingenuity to thrive amidst the challenges of the forest. As we meet upon these ancient monuments, half swallowed by trees, it's impossible not to feel a sense of awe. The silence of the jungle is alive with memory. Every mound, every patterned clearing is a doorway to the past, a reminder that beneath the surface of apparent wilderness lies a tapestry woven by countless lives, dreams, and ambitions. The fate of these ancient societies is a cautionary tale, urging us to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world. The rainforest's ability to erase even the grandest of human achievements is humbling, yet it also offers hope. The enduring fertility of terra preta, the persistence of indigenous knowledge, and the survival of isolated tribes all show that the legacy of the past endures, sometimes in ways we cannot see. Today, as scientists, explorers, and local communities work together to uncover the secrets of the Amazon, they are rewriting history. The narrative of an empty, untouched wilderness is being replaced by one of complexity, diversity, and depth. The discovery of ancient earthworks and geoglyphs has sparked new interest in protecting the forest, not just for its ecological value, but for its cultural heritage. The journey to understand the marks humans have left in the deep forest is far from over. Each new dig, each aerial survey brings us closer to unraveling the mysteries. And as we listen to the stories of those who still live in the shadow of these monuments, we gain insight into the enduring connections between past and present. The earthen pyramids and giant geoglyphs remain, silently watching over the forest. Their builders may be gone, but their legacy lives on, in the soil, in the stories, and in the people who call the Amazon home. The jungle is not just a repository of biodiversity. It is a living archive of human experience, waiting to be read, understood, and cherished. In the heart of the rainforest, the traces of vanished civilizations remind us that history is never truly lost. It lingers in the land, in the memories of descendants, and in the questions we continue to ask. The forests of South America are not only the lungs of the planet, but the cradle of forgotten empires, their stories woven into every tree, stone, and shadow. They are the last keepers of a world untouched by modern civilization. Deep within remote rainforests, high mountain valleys, and isolated islands, there remain a handful of tribes who have chosen, or been compelled, to remain hidden from the relentless march of progress. Their homes are woven from leaves and branches, perched on stilts above the forest floor, or nestled beside winding rivers. The smoke from their cooking fires curls gently into the air, drifting above a canopy that has sheltered their people for thousands of years. Everyday life revolves around the natural world. These communities are masters of self-sufficiency, depending on their deep and nuanced understanding of the land for survival. Men and women move silently through the undergrowth, their bodies painted with intricate patterns, blending seamlessly with the lush green of their surroundings. Hunters carry bows carved from local wood, their arrows tipped with sharpened bone or stone. With practiced skill, they track the subtle signs left by animals: broken twigs, a patch of disturbed earth, a distant call echoing through the trees. They hunt not for sport, but from necessity, taking only what is needed to sustain their families and honoring the spirits of the creatures they claim. The architecture of their homes reveals centuries of adaptation. In regions prone to flooding or inhabited by dangerous wildlife, houses rise on sturdy stilts, elevated above the damp ground. Roofs of tightly woven palm leaves keep out the rain, while walls made from bamboo or reeds provide both shelter and ventilation. Inside, the space is simple yet functional. A communal area for cooking and storytelling. Sleeping mats arranged around the glowing heart of the fire. Fire itself is sacred. It is more than a source of warmth or a tool for cooking. It is a symbol of life, community, and continuity. At dusk, as shadows lengthen and the forest comes alive with the sounds of night, villagers gather around the flames. Here, the elders recount stories passed down through generations, tales of ancestors, the spirits of the land, and the origins of their people. The language spoken is often unique to their tribe, a living thread connecting the present to a distant past. Rituals and ceremonies punctuate the rhythms of daily existence. The fire ceremony is a powerful moment of communal unity, where songs echo into the night and bodies move in synchrony during traditional dances. Faces are illuminated by firelight, their expressions both solemn and joyful. The dances themselves are rich with meaning. Some are performed to honor the spirits, others to mark important life events such as births, initiations, or the changing seasons. Despite the apparent simplicity of their lives, these tribes possess a profound and complex relationship with their environment. They know the medicinal properties of countless plants, the migratory patterns of animals, and the subtle shifts in weather that signal the turning of the year. Their knowledge is vast, passed from generation to generation without the aid of written language, encoded instead in memory, song, and shared experience. Yet, these communities remain isolated for reasons both chosen and imposed. Why do they avoid contact with the outside world? The answers are layered, shaped by centuries of history and the harsh realities of contact with outsiders. One reason is the devastating impact of disease. For peoples who have lived in isolation for millennia, even a simple cold can be deadly. Throughout history, the arrival of explorers, missionaries, or loggers has often been followed by waves of illness, wiping out entire villages in a matter of weeks. The memory of these tragedies lingers, handed down in cautionary tales and warnings to avoid strangers at all costs. Conflict and violence have also played their part. Encounters with outsiders have not always been peaceful. Stories abound of land being seized, resources plundered, and cultures destroyed. Many tribes have witnessed the felling of their forests, the poisoning of their rivers, and the loss of sacred sites to mining and agriculture. The outside world, for them, is a source of danger and disruption, a force that threatens not only their physical survival, but the very fabric of their identity. Perhaps most important, however, is the desire to protect their way of life. For these tribes, culture is not a relic of the past, but a living, breathing reality. Every song, dance, and ritual is a declaration of who they are. Contact with the outside world risks eroding the traditions that have sustained them for generations. Language may be lost, beliefs diluted, and the social bonds that tie the community together weakened. Some anthropologists believe that the act of choosing isolation is itself a form of resistance, a way for these peoples to assert their autonomy and dignity in the face of overwhelming change. By remaining hidden, they are able to control what they share and what they keep secret, preserving the mysteries and sacred knowledge that define their world. But this isolation is increasingly fragile. The modern world presses closer with every passing year. Satellite images reveal the outlines of villages once invisible beneath the forest canopy. Illegal loggers and miners encroach on protected territories, bringing with them not only physical danger, but the lure of money and new technology. Even well-meaning attempts at contact by governments, NGOs, or missionaries can have unintended consequences, disrupting delicate social structures and exposing communities to risks they are ill-equipped to handle. There is a growing recognition of the right of these tribes to remain uncontacted, to determine their own futures without interference. Some countries have established protected areas, enforcing strict no-entry policies to shield these peoples from outside intrusion. Yet, enforcement is difficult, and the pressures of development, economic interest, and curiosity persist. The fate of the world's last uncontacted tribes hangs in the balance. They are the living memory of a time when humanity was more closely bound to the land, when community and tradition were the pillars of survival. Their stories challenge us to rethink our assumptions about progress and the value of different ways of life. As we look into the flickering light of their fires, we are reminded that there are still mysteries on this earth, hidden worlds where time moves at a different pace. The ultimate question remains: will we allow these last custodians of ancient knowledge to endure, or will they, too, be swept away by the tide of modernity? Their survival is not just a matter of anthropology, but a test of our willingness to respect the diversity of human experience and to recognize that, in preserving their worlds, we may yet learn something vital about our own. As the sun sinks low over the endless expanse of the Amazon rainforest, its fiery glow sets the treetops ablaze with fleeting color. Shadows lengthen, and the forest breathes in the cooling air, a living mosaic of green and gold. The air hums with life. Choruses of birds call out their final notes of the day. Cicadas and frogs join in a primal rhythm, each sound a thread in the ancient tapestry of existence. Amid this primordial orchestra, one cannot help but feel both awe and humility, sensing the pulse of nature that has persisted for millennia, untouched and unchanged. We stand at the edge of a great mystery, gazing into the heart of the Amazon, the last refuge of uncontacted tribes. These people have carved out an existence in isolation, living by traditions older than history itself. Their villages, hidden beneath the canopy, are rarely glimpsed by outsiders. Their stories are whispered in the rustling leaves, their wisdom written in the patterns of the stars. They are the keepers of secrets, about the forest, about survival, about humanity itself. And so we ask ourselves, should we let them remain in solitude, untouched by the outside world? Or should we reach out, bridging the chasm between their world and ours? This question echoes through the trees and across the ages. The Amazon is not just a place of mystery, it is a mirror reflecting the fragility of life on Earth. Its rivers snake through green labyrinths, sustaining countless species, each dependent on the delicate balance of nature. Here, the boundaries between humankind and the wild blur, and the fate of one is entwined with the fate of all. To peer into the Amazon's depths is to confront the vulnerability and resilience of our planet. As the east sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of crimson and indigo, we are reminded of the cycles that govern existence, the dance of light and dark, of life and death, of discovery and preservation. The tribes that dwell within these forests have mastered this balance. Their way of life is shaped by respect for the land, for the spirits, for each other. Their stories are not just tales of survival, but lessons in coexistence, in harmony, in humility. Yet the world outside presses in. The march of progress brings roads, machines, and strangers. It brings curiosity, but also danger. The very act of seeking out these tribes risks disrupting the equilibrium they have maintained for generations. It is a paradox. Our desire to understand, to protect, may itself be the greatest threat. Each decision, each footprint, carries consequences that ripple outward, Touching not just the forest, but the future of humanity, the Amazon teaches us about limits, about the need to tread carefully, to listen before we speak, to observe before we intervene. Its mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, but reminders of all we do not yet know. To approach these tribes is to approach the unknown, to confront the boundaries of our knowledge and our power. It demands humility, patience, and respect. It calls for reverence for the dignity of those who have chosen a different path, for the wisdom embedded in ancient customs, for the right to exist in peace. As night descends, the forest transforms. The sounds change, becoming deeper, more elusive. The stars emerge overhead, silent witnesses to the passage of time. From above, the Amazon is a patchwork of dark and light, a living testament to endurance and adaptation. The aircraft that rises above the canopy, carrying us away from this hidden world, becomes a symbol of our own journey, of the choices we make, the paths we follow, and the destinies we shape. What have we learned from this voyage into the unknown? That the search for the last uncontacted tribes is not merely an exploration of geography, but a quest to understand ourselves. In their isolation, we glimpse the possibilities of another way of being, one that values connection to the land, to community, to tradition. In their silence, we hear the questions that haunt our own modern lives. What does it mean to be human? What do we owe each other? What future do we wish to create? The Amazon's uncontacted tribes remind us that the diversity of life is both a treasure and a responsibility. Their continued existence is a testament to resilience, to adaptability, to the enduring power of culture. It challenges us to reflect on our own choices, to consider the impact of our actions, the reach of our curiosity, the weight of our interventions. It urges us to see the world not as a resource to be exploited, but as a living web of relationships to be honored and protected. And so, as the rainforest fades into the darkness and our journey draws to a close, the final message emerges with clarity. In seeking out the last untouched tribes, what we truly discover is the future of humankind. Their stories are our stories, their struggles our struggles, their survival a measure of our own. The choices we make, from the highest mountains to the deepest jungles, will shape not only their destiny, but the destiny of all life on Earth. Let us remember the lessons of the Amazon. Let us approach its mysteries with wonder, humility, and care. Let us honor the right of every culture to exist in peace and the responsibility of all humanity to safeguard the world we share. The setting sun over the rainforest is not just an ending, but a beginning, a call to wisdom, to compassion, to stewardship. As we leave the forest behind, may we carry its message with us, that the search for meaning, for connection, for balance is the true journey of our time. For in the heart of the Amazon, in the lives of those who dwell in silence, we glimpse not only the secrets of the past, but the promise of the future. And as the night envelops the land, we are reminded that every ending is but a doorway to new understanding, new hope, and new beginnings.